Japan had always fascinated the Western world, from when the shogunate was ruling and was taken over by the iron hand of the imperialists to the modern world of technology, kawaii, anime merchandise, and beautiful infrastructure. It also gave birth to the legend of ninjas, who became one with the shadows and assassinate someone in a blink of an eye. With this video, we want you to experience the good, bad, and ugly as we guide you through these 40 ninja movies of all time that you can't miss in your lifetime. So get your snacks ready because you'll be hungry for more by the time we're done. You can't miss it in your lifetime. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Azumi, 2003. Amidst the ruins of a strife-ridden Japan, the Tokugawa shogun, grappling with the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, is hell-bent on ending the chaotic era of warring warlords. In his fervor to achieve this goal, he takes the extreme step of ordering the execution of the belligerent leaders. A group of 10 orphaned children, including a lovely young girl, are raised and trained in assassination to carry out the shogun's orders. This young girl, Azumi, is a formidable and lethal warrior who has honed her skills to become the ultimate assassin. The riveting plot and spectacular fight scenes are just the tip of the iceberg in this Japanese-inspired movie. The story leads the way, showcasing the unwavering determination of the characters to achieve their goals no matter the cost, and revealing the sternness of the Japanese character that never looks back. This world is one where the value of life is small, and sacrifices must be made for the greater good. The acting is top-notch, with each character playing their role perfectly without any clear lines that would make them appear foolish. The heroine, Azumi, is an incredibly well-rounded character, displaying both power and femininity as she pursues her mission to eliminate the warlords. The teacher is also a standout character, embodying the cold and brutal mindset of a time when life was not valued highly. However, Kanbei steals the show as a shrewd samurai willing to risk everything to protect his warlord. His character is exceptionally realistic and compelling. The only major flaw in the movie is the character of Bijomaru, the assassin with a flower. He seems too insane and skillful, making him feel out of place in the story. His presence feels more fitting for a Chinese martial arts movie villain. The fight scenes are spectacular, with flawless choreography and stunning visual effects. The wire work is also impressive, adding an extra layer of excitement to the action. And the score is simply incredible, fitting the movie perfectly and keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. Ninja, Shadow of a Tear, 2013. Casey Bowman, a skilled martial arts expert, lives by the mantra of fight everyone and trust no one, after a horrific act of violence shatters his peaceful home life. With the guidance of a crafty and intelligent sensei, Casey embarks on a mission of revenge, tracking the assassin from Osaka to Bangkok and finally to Rangoon. The only clue Casey has is a series of victims marked by barbed wire strangulation on their necks. To take down Goro, an evil drug kingpin flooding the streets with a lethal meth concoction, Casey must push his fighting skills to new heights, honing his reflexes and even mastering meditation to feign his death. But when Casey finally gets close to capturing his target, an unexpected twist throws him into a dangerous game of deceit, where he can trust no one. The ultimate goal is to become an invisible warrior worthy of the name Ninja. A tale of vengeance fueled by personal motivations involving bosses and martial arts takes center stage in this riveting movie. The fighting sequences are nothing short of spectacular, boasting incredible speed and power. The martial arts are in peak physical shape, and their prowess is showcased beautifully on screen. The camera work is visually stunning, capturing the acrobatics with precision and tastefully incorporating slow motion to highlight the artist without disrupting the flow of the fights. The film features various scenes including rooftop chases, bar brawls, street fights, taxi encounters, dojo battles, jungle warfare, and dialogue exchanges. Scott Adkins, a naturally gifted martial artist, delivers impressive fighting skills and looks great on camera. We highly recommend this film because it's a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Ninja Assassin, 2009. Mika Coretti is a researcher for Europol in Berlin who gives her boss Ryan Maslow evidence of a dangerous network of ninja assassins who killed politicians. She must flee from the killers chasing her, but a ninja called Raizo saves her. Raizo is an orphan who grew up in Japan with the Ozuna clan, where he was trained to be a heartless murderer. Even so, he's always had feelings for Kiriko, his childhood friend who's kind and gentle. When Kiriko tries to leave the Ozuna clan, Takeshi, Raizo's ninja brother, catches her and kills her mercilessly. Furious, Raizo fights against his teacher Ozunu and hurts him badly, and this causes his brothers to turn on him. Mika tries to persuade Raizo to join hands with her boss and uncover Ozunu for what he is. All they have to do is keep running and try to survive from now on. Brace yourself for a thrilling, gore-filled adventure that will leave you on the edge of your seat. From the opening scene, this movie delivers a bloody ninja spectacle with severed limbs, decapitations, and splattering blood galore. But don't let that deter you, as the action remains highly choreographed and frequently enhanced by CGI. creating an immersive experience that'll make you wince and cheer in equal measure. The story may be straightforward, but it's a perfect backdrop to justify the high-octane action. As a viewer, you won't be bogged down by complex plot points, but rather be able to focus on the adrenaline-pumping action sequences, keep you engaged throughout the film. Cast is impressive, with K-pop star Rain delivering an electrifying performance as Raizo, and Sho Kosugi bringing a suitably menacing presence to his role as Lord Azunu, Raizo's once mentor turned villain. Naomi Harris and Ben Miles also shine as Mika and her boss. Shadowhunters, 1972. Against a crumbling Tokugawa shogunate, the tale of Shadowhunters unfurls, recounting the treacherous exploits of Jubei, Sunlight, and Moonlight, three Ronins masquerading as Shadowhunters. Far from being mere aimless troublemakers seeking nothing more than booze, women, and a chance to draw their swords, these three warriors have chosen a more noble path. Refusing to follow their deceased lord's harakiri ritual, they've instead pooled their formidable sword skills to thwart the government's efforts to exploit the resources of its daimyos. The movie's plot and dialogue could be better. Nothing is new or noteworthy. However, the film's body count is impressive, and it includes plenty of swordplay action to keep the even most dedicated Chambara fan entertained. Unfortunately, the film's musical story is a letdown. It features a groovy jazz music that's more commonly found in Yakuza films of the era, and is entirely out of place in the rural Japanese setting of the 18th century. Furthermore, Toshio Masuda's direction is lackluster at best, if not downright poor. The flashback sequence of Jubei's childhood, where he's coerced into acting as the second executioner to the lord of his own clan, ends in a whirl of humiliation. Instances like these can be downers, so you can either sit through 90 minutes of mindless fun or opt this out. Enter the Ninja, 1981. Having completed his ninjutsu training in Japan, Cole, a former American military operator, travels to the Philippines to reunite with an old army comrade and his stunning wife. However, their plans for a peaceful reunion are disrupted when they discover that their vast property is being eyed for oil extraction by a wealthy CEO. As the situation intensifies, Cole faces Venarius, the CEO's henchman, and his minions. Despite the odds stacked against him, Cole manages to defeat the thugs, which prompts Venarius to recruit Hasegawa, Cole's former ninjutsu school rival, to take him down. With Hasegawa in the mix, the stage is set for a heart-pounding showdown between the two skilled ninjas, who will come out on top in this explosive confrontation. A few American productions are still worthy of attention in this genre, with Enter the Ninja being a prime example. This movie is believed to have sparked the ninja craze of the 1980s. Despite lacking martial arts expertise, the white ninja, Franco Nero, exudes undeniable charisma. While the storyline and performances leave much to be desired, the movie is a perfect platform for showcasing some thrilling ninja action. Watch as Franco Nero and his stunt double take on hopeless bums, only to face their match in the form of Sho Kosugi, who made numerous ninja movies following this one. This film is a fantastic source of campy entertainment, where the absurd action and appalling acting would be intolerable elsewhere. Killer Elite, 1975. George Hansen and Mike Locken are not your ordinary friends. They're both highly skilled assassins working for the notorious corporation Comtech, which happens to be affiliated with the CIA. But things take an unexpected turn when George receives an enticing offer from their rival company, causing him to betray Mike and severely injure him. After a lengthy physical treatment, Mike returns to work, only to find himself in an unusual situation. He's tasked with protecting a client, also targeted by Hansen and his gang for an assassination job. While this movie may be watchable, it needs to improve its storytelling, which can sometimes become quite ridiculous. However, the on-screen reunion of Robert Duvall and James Caan is a film highlight, as their scenes are delightful and entertaining. Unfortunately, these scenes are few and far between, leaving Duvall's talent underused throughout the movie. Furthermore, the story drags and never really finds its footing, leading to some implausible and frankly uninteresting elements that make the film an inconsistent watch. But you could still watch it whenever you have the time, though it needn't be on your list. Beverly Hills Ninja, 1997. After a devastating shipwreck, a lone baby is rescued and raised by a group of skilled and stealthy ninja warriors. Despite being given the name Haru, the young boy never truly fits in with his ninja family and fails to live up to their expectations of him becoming a formidable ninja himself. However, Haru's kind-hearted nature and unwavering determination, coupled with the guidance of Gobei, leads him on an unconventional journey that culminates in a surprising victory. Despite some people believing that Chris Farley's comedic career is better with David Spade, we beg to differ, as his humor remains incredibly hilarious. Not to mention, his impressive karate skills make him seem like a true champion. Farley's comedic genius is taken to its limits in the movie, as he embraces the roles of the white ninja and the orphan ninja, who have been raised to eliminate rival ninjas. The resulting scenes are hilarious and purposeful, ensuring the audience audience is thoroughly entertained. Although some may argue that Chris Rock would have been a fantastic partner for Farley, it was disappointing that he didn't have enough screen time. However, both could have easily been known as Hollywood legends for their talent in kicking ass. Let's take a moment to appreciate Robin Shou, who not only performed amazing stunts, but also could disguise himself to assist Farley without him even knowing. It was indeed an incredible display of talent. Even Christian Bale has stated that this movie is one of his favorites, so it is worth it. The Third Ninja, 1964. In 1572 Japan, a ninja receives orders to assassinate a powerful warlord. Still, their plan is thwarted when 3 loyal ninjas catch wind of the scheme and set out to stop it. Meanwhile, Takeda Shingen is determined to eliminate his rival, Oda Nobunaga, and seeks the aid of his infamous spy, Chidoken. However, Nobunaga eager spies are hot on Chidoken's trail, creating a deadly game of espionage and deception. This gripping tale reads like a classic film noir, full of tension and intrigue as the ninja's deadly skills are tested. Unlike earlier Japanese ninja films, which focused on fantastical elements, this story prioritizes authenticity and realism, much like the tales of samurai warriors. The Third Ninja boasts an exceptional ensemble and is elevated by a spine-tingling harmonica-infused score, delivering an enthralling, action-packed narrative that brims with complexity and moral ambiguity. The film showcases an array of uniquely innovative sequences, weaving a compelling espionage tale further enriched by its intricately developed characters, its emotional depth, and its masterful display of electrifying sword fights, ninja shadow techniques, and intense shuriken battles. It comes as no surprise that this exhilarating adventure film comes highly recommended. Ninja, a Band of Assassins, 1962. As a promising member of his ninja clan, Goemon is known for his potential and bright future. However, his Achilles heel lies in his weakness for women, particularly his leader's wife. This all changes when Goemon's life takes a tragic turn. Not only does his father die at the hands of his own explosive powder, but the leader's wife is also murdered. Despite being blamed by his leader, Goemon's life is spared, but only under the condition that he kills an evil lord who threatens all ninja clans. With a heavy heart, Goemon agrees to the task, only to discover that his leader has betrayed him in the worst way possible. The Japanese legend of Goemon has inspired numerous films throughout history, including this movie that served as the original source of inspiration for the James Bond classic, You Only Live Twice. What sets Japanese acting apart from the West is that it's dimensional and performed from the heart rather than simply following a rehearsed script. Shinobi no Mono is a film credited with popularizing the ninja genre, and it distinguishes itself from others in the genre by focusing on realistic elements rather than fantastical ones. Although there are plenty of classic ninja staples like secret passages, booby traps, poison, and darts, don't expect flashy swordplay or drawn-out battles. Izo, 2004. The year is 1865 and the shogunate is on its way out, but it still has enough power to order the execution of its enemies. Izo, an assassin in the employ of Hanpeida, a Tosa nobleman and staunch supporter of the emperor, is one such adversary. He kills many of the shogun's soldiers before being captured and crucified. But instead of meeting his demise, Izo's rage propels him through time and space to present-day Tokyo, where he merges with the city's homeless population. As he assimilates into modern society, Izo's anger only intensifies, transforming him into a more lethal killing machine than ever before. He remains consumed by his past mistreatment and seeks revenge against those who condemned him to death. For Izo, the sword is the ultimate answer to the ruling powers, whose ancestors ordered his execution. The acting in the movie was splendid, with Takeshi Kitano being the only recognizable actor to most audiences. This made it easier to appreciate the performances without resorting to poking fun at any actor's past. The gore and violence would undoubtedly be the primary attraction for many viewers, as Izo ruthlessly murders businessmen, an old warrior with a voice box, school children, and anyone else who gets in his way. The variety of victims helps to make up for the somewhat lackluster plot, mainly a series of stabbings, slashings, and beheadings. Kitano's impeccable film choices ensured that the movie would be a treat, and the fact that it was directed by Takeshi Miike only added to the excitement. Nonetheless, what kept us captivated was the philosophy and symbolism that permeated the movie. Izo, who's consumed by rage, slowly transforms into a demon as he continues his killing spree, taking on the appearance of a Japanese one, which is a mythical creature. There's also a wandering troubadour who sings songs up to 7 minutes long. Is he the narrator, or is he the voice of Izo's soul? Either way, it's going to be an entertaining watch. So, come for the blood and gore and stay for the philosophical part of the movie. Kill Bill, Volume 1. 2003. At the center of this action-packed narrative stands a remarkable heroine, a fierce, deadly Viper assassination squad member known only as the Bride. Her boyfriend, the nefarious Bill, heads this ruthless gang of killers. When she discovers that she's pregnant with Bill's child, she resolves to leave her life of violence behind. The Bride flees to Texas, where she meets a charming young man, but her happiness is short-lived when her fiancé is killed on the day of their wedding rehearsal. Bill, fueled by envy and fury with the aid of the deadly Viper assassination squad, is responsible for this tragic event. 4 years later, the bride emerges from a prolonged coma and discovers her baby is gone. Consumed with rage and a thirst for revenge, she embarks on a perilous journey to track down the 5 people responsible for the destruction of her life and the murder of her child. This journey of vengeance and redemption forms the basis of the thrilling Kill Bill series. Combining his admiration for the exaggerated kung fu films of the 70s with a gripping tale of revenge, Tarantino delivers a movie heavy on dialogue and graphic violence. Although the latter is admittedly cheesy, it proved a source of controversy among audiences who mistook it for something more realistic. Yet this is precisely the point. The film is meant to be a homage rather than a straightforward action flick. But be warned, the sight of gallons of bright red blood erupting from dismembered limbs might prove too much for some viewers to stomach. Nevertheless, the film's standout qualities are Tarantino's ability to draw outstanding performances out of even the most average actors, his razor-sharp wit, and his talent for weaving a compelling story, all evident throughout his oeuvre. Dagger of Kamui, 1985. As Jiro was wandering the streets of Sai village, he stumbled upon a gruesome sight. His adoptive family lay lifeless before him. Despite his protestations of innocence, the villagers accused him of their murder, and Jiro was forced to flee. He wandered aimlessly, hungry and alone, until he was discovered by a mysterious monk named Tenkai. He took pity on the young boy and took him in as his own, raising him as a shinobi. Jiro trained hard, honing his skills and becoming a deadly assassin under Tenkai's tutelage. However, as Jiro grew older, he realized that Tenkai was not the benevolent monk he appeared to be. One day, stray shinobi named Taruza returned to Tenkai's village. The former subordinate was attacked and wounded by Tenkai's own shinobi, sparking Jiro's curiosity about the situation. Tenko told Jiro that Taruza was the one who had killed Jiro's adoptive family, and Jiro, filled with rage and vengeance, plunged the Dagger of Kamui into Taruza's heart. Years later, Jiro discovered the truth about his past. Taruza was not his family's killer, but his own father, and the one who had orchestrated it all was Tenkai himself. This caused him to cut ties with his master and find a way to take revenge for all the deception and lies. Dagger of Kamui is a tale that transcends Jiro's journey and delves into the depths of our own human experiences. The music score is breathtaking, particularly the haunting end theme that tugs at the heartstrings. Jiro's encounters with minor characters leave an indelible mark on their lives, particularly Oyuki, whose empathy and depth of character are incredibly moving. Meanwhile, the cameo appearance by Samuel Clemens, also known as Mark Twain, is noteworthy due to the fascinating parallel between his life and Jiro's. The movie's primary antagonist, Tenkai, is a truly despicable villain who embodies all that we despise in humanity. His hypocritical and perverse nature, coupled with his sadistic tendencies, make him a formidable foe that's easy to hate. The Octagon, 1980. Employed as Justine's personal safeguard after she becomes the prime target of a cunning ninja clan, Scott James, a skilled martial artist, is determined to seek revenge on his long-life adversary, McCann, who's associated with the treacherous villains. To eradicate them all, Scott is challenged to face off against McCann and the entire group of ninjas. Haunted by 2 types of vivid flashbacks, Scott relives the rigorous training he underwent with his comrade under the guidance of a martial arts instructor during his early years. The second flashback involves Scott's mission, which ends with the tragic death of his friend. As he delves deeper into the investigation, Scott is inexorably drawn towards the Octagon, a ruthless criminal organization. As he uncovers the truth, Scott discovers that this group may be responsible for his friend's demise many years ago. This film is so compelling because it deftly cuts between Norris and the ninja training camp, gradually building toward an explosive finale. This movie distinguishes itself from the director's other works through its intricate and multi-layered plot that seamlessly blends different storylines into one. The opening scenes between Norris and Karen Carlson are particularly captivating, as their chemistry is undeniable, and her invitation to her home exudes an air of mystery and intrigue. However, some viewers have noted that the female characters in the film fall for Norris too quickly, and his victories over the ninjas seem almost too effortless. Despite these criticisms, the movie benefits from Lee Van Cleef's firm performance and Norris's improved acting abilities, making it one of his most impressive films. Revenge of the Ninja, 1983. As a troop of evil ninjas ruthlessly wiped out his family, Cho Osaki, a Japanese man, felt his life halt. Seeking a fresh start, he accepted an invitation with his associate, Braden, played by Arthur Roberts, to leave Japan and move to America. Braden offered Cho a business partnership, which seemed like a perfect opportunity for a new beginning. However, Cho soon discovered that Braden was not what he appeared to be. Braden was a drug smuggler, a ruthless man who also happened to be skilled in the ways of the ninja. Despite Cho's reluctance to get involved in Braden's illicit activities, he couldn't turn his back on Braden, his new business partner. Nevertheless, things went awry when Cho's son Kane, played by Kane Kosugi, witnessed a murder and became a liability for Braden. Braden refused to cooperate with the police, leaving Cho with no choice but to take matters into his own hands. As a father, he was determined to protect his son and bring the culprits to justice, even if it meant risking his own life. With familiar and well-executed fight scenes, the movie balances action and acting that keeps the audience engaged without overdosing on the dramatic portions. Kosugi, who also choreographed the fight scenes, has done a commendable job. Even though the fights don't have the swiftness and panache of their Hong Kong counterparts, they're still a treat to watch. Undoubtedly, the movie's greatest asset is its antagonist. Arthur Roberts puts on a splendid show as Braden, a shady and serpentine character. However, he truly shines when he transforms to the Braden Ninja, a diabolical and spine-chilling villain who dispatches his enemies creatively and gruesomely, making him a delightful villain to watch. While the movie includes some traditional ninja weapons and tools, it also throws in a flamethrower, a modern take on the arsenal of the ancient ninjas. For a movie produced in 1983, the film's most striking feature is its graphic and violent content, which was a rarity for that era. The movie's depiction of shurikens lodged in eyes and arms being severed is genuinely jarring, and it's a testament to the filmmakers' commitment to their craft that they put in an effort to make such gruesome effects. Although it may seem tame by today's standards, in the 80s it was quite the feat. Ninja 3. The Domination, 1984. Enchanted by ancient Japanese customs, a lady blessed with extrasensory perception is taken over by the vengeful ghost of a malicious samurai. Meanwhile, a sultry aerobics instructor falls victim to the wrath of a dying ninja who takes control of her body. At first, the woman's behavior only appears odd, as she exhibits strange behavior, such as communicating with an arcade game, indulging in erotic activities with V8 juice, and lusting over an unusually hairy police officer. But before long, the ninja's malevolent spirit transforms her into a ruthless assassin, exacting revenge on the officers responsible for his demise. Her reign of terror can only be thwarted by another ninja skilled enough to take her on. The film's start showcased an impressively choreographed action sequence that provided the audience with spectacular entertainment. The movie revolves around an evil ninja who seeks revenge against those who have wronged him in the past. Per the ninja code, one cannot outkill a ninja, except if you're a ninja. Following his death, the ninja spirit finds shelter in the body of a young woman named Lucinda Dickey, who possesses a hot and attractive figure reminiscent of Mimi Rogers. Lucinda, who spends her days working out at the gym and dealing with power lines, becomes a killing machine and takes on bad guys, cops, and gangs of thugs. A young cop smitten with her falls for Lucinda's charms, hoping to have sexual relations with her. However, he senses something peculiar about her and is still deeply drawn to her. As Lucinda leaves behind a trail of bloodshed in her wake, it becomes apparent that it's time to call a professional to handle the situation. This thrilling action-packed movie is an expertly staged spectacle, providing entertainment that throws reality out of the window. The Hunted, 1995. During a business trip to Nagoya, Paul, an executive from New York, crosses paths with a stunning, mysterious woman. However, little does he know that this chance meeting will take him on an unexpected journey of danger and self-discovery. Caught in the middle of an assassination plot by a notorious ninja cult, Paul becomes the only person alive to have seen the face of the cult's warrior leader. Knowing his life is now in grave danger, he teams up with a kind samurai couple embroiled in a 2-century-old blood feud with the ninja. As he recovers on an island stronghold, Paul begins to teach himself the ways of the sword. He learns valuable lessons in courage, honor, love, and loyalty. The Hunted is an actual ninja movie, complete with violence and fights. Still, it doesn't exude the typical Hollywood feel. In particular, the train scene stands out as the ninja characters make a calculated decision to eliminate all witnesses, conveying a sense of terrorism and murder rather than action. What's striking is that the victims are not mere faceless enemies, but real people who are given due care in terms of realism. The movie is meticulous in showing the police arriving at the murder scene to conduct an investigation, which is a rarity in most ninja movies. The plot is based on deception and strategy, leading to the final fight scenes. Christopher Lambert's character is not glorified. He undergoes intense sword training and is considered insignificant by most samurai characters. The activity is portrayed as a terrifying experience, with Lambert clinging to every possible advantage to stay alive. The film remains true to the established formula and deserves credit for it. Duel to the Death, 1983. Immerse yourself in the world of ninjas with this captivating film, which takes you on a thrilling journey of an annual international martial arts competition. The story revolves around the intense rivalry between China and Japan, where the best swordsmen battle for national pride. But the plot thickens as the main fighters struggle to fight their inner demons. At the same time, other masters are abducted by ninjas in a Japanese ploy to acquire the coveted secrets of Chinese kung fu. Director Xu Tongqing broke new ground with his film, which marked the beginning of a new era of kung fu epics and the end of an older wave, while the shores remain stuck in the 1960s. The photography is top-notch, and the script is far better than one might expect. Despite the strangeness of some occurrences, everything flows with the story rather than making the viewer shake their head in disbelief. The film is stylistically influenced by Japanese shambara. However, Japanese martial artists may take issue with the samurai sword work displayed. Flora Chung, a ballet dancer, throws herself into the action with aplomb, and the ninja pulls off some truly incredible feats. Moreover, the music track is actually quite good. 5 Elements Ninjas, 1982. Lo Mang, the only member of the renowned Venom mob, stars in the lesser-known but equally bloody classic Element. The movie follows a kung fu school that hires a color-coded, element-themed ninja clan to seek revenge against their adversaries who defeated them in a battle. The plot may seem straightforward, but the glorious fight scenes steal the show, with ninjas appearing and disappearing in a cloud of red smoke and heroes celebrating their victory by punching boulders that explode. Element isn't your typical kung fu movie, as it features one of the heroes getting his guts ripped out in a fight but continuing to fight for another 5 minutes until his demise caused by stepping on his own intestines. Despite a few minor setbacks, the film is a thrill ride. Some scenes may become tedious or monotonous. Still, the addition of ninjas adds a refreshing twist to the typical martial arts plot. The well-choreographed ninja scenes are packed with nuttiness and excitement, making it easy to sit through the slower or more predictable sections. Production values are impressive for this type of film, even though the outdoor scenes were filmed on a soundstage. You may want to reevaluate your movie preferences if this doesn't pique your interest. Ninja Strikes Back, 1982. Bruce struggles to make ends meet after being jailed for 2 years due to his hand in organized crime. Unfortunately, his past is catching up with him, as his former gang members are doing everything to catch him. His frantic escape leads him on a thrilling chase through the bustling streets of Paris and Rome, with danger lurking around every corner. Amidst the chaos, he crosses paths with Inspector Pacino, who needs help rescuing the ambassador's kidnapped daughter and dismantling a human trafficking ring operated by Bruce's old crew. However, when Bruce's fiancée Laura is mercilessly gunned down on a tranquil beach, he completely loses it. Wang embarks on a relentless mission to hunt down his former ally, venturing to Hong Kong. Finally, their bitter feud dramatically ends in the Colosseum of Rome as they engage in a brutal battle to the death. The opening credits of this Ninja Strikes Back are worth the price of admission alone, with their ultra-cheesy nature and music stolen straight from other Bruce Lee movies. They might be the best or worst you'll ever see. Throughout the film, topless women are a constant presence, and viewers can expect to see decapitated guys in the woods and plenty of hard-knuckle fight scenes. But the true magic of the martial arts lies in the ninjas, who disappear and cartwheel their way through the film, even flying through the trees. Over-the-top fight scenes, with Dick Randall bringing in pseudonyms of famous actors like It Doesn't Matter, this might just be the movie you want to see to unwind. Adding to the coolness factor is the appearance of Huang Jiangli, the high-kicking, lousy guy of the film. Although Bruce Lee only possesses a little acting talent, the film's overall cheesiness is something to be savoured. Pray for Death, 1985. Living in Tokyo with his Japanese-American wife Eiko and their children, Takeshi and Tomoya, Akira Saito is a successful businessman in Japan. However, when the family is presented with an opportunity to relocate to the United States so that Eiko can educate their children about their American history, they seize it and pack their bags for Houston, Texas, where they open a restaurant. Everything goes well until the family becomes unwittingly entangled in a web of deceit and corruption. Unbeknownst to them, a gang of corrupt cops has stashed stolen goods in the restaurant's back room, and a coveted necklace known as the Vanata necklace is on the syndicate's radar. One of the corrupt cops decides to keep the chain for himself, leading the alliance to target the restaurant's previous owner and, consequently, the Saito family. Amidst all the chaos, Kira manages to secretly rescue one of the thugs who was taken by Limehouse, the top thug in the syndicate. However, after Limehouse runs down Eiko and Tomoya to pursue the necklace, Akira realizes he can no longer sit idly by. He's been harboring a dark secret for years, but decides to embrace his inner villain and fight back against the syndicate. Sho Kosugi shines as the lead in Pray for Death, a film showcasing his martial arts skills and his transition from villain to hero. While some may remember him as the antagonist who fought Franco Nero in Enter the Ninja, Kosugi truly takes the reins in this thrilling ninja movie. Though opinions may vary, it's safe to say that Pray for Death is a cut above the rest in the genre. Some may argue it has slow moments, such as the lackluster boat party scene. Still, the film more than makes up for it with its adrenaline-fueled action sequences, particularly the gripping climax. Despite the movie's unlikely plot, it moves briskly, keeping audiences hooked until the very end. While ninja movies are rarely held in high regard, Pray for Death at least delivers a deliciously indulgent, guilty pleasure. The Challenge of the Lady Ninja. For 17 long years, a woman delved deep into the secrets of the ninja ways with a singular goal in mind: to avenge her father's death. With her training complete, she sets foot in China, only to discover that the culprits behind her father's murder are still at large. Fueled by anger and a thirst for justice, she gathers a group of young women. She imparts her hard-earned knowledge to find them, molding them into skilled ninjas. But the path to revenge is never easy, and the road ahead is perilous. As she leads a team of fierce warriors, they must face off against deadly foes and survive harrowing training sessions. Women must push themselves to the limit, enduring grueling physical trials and severe mental challenges. The end goal is clear: take down those who wronged her family and ensure justice is served. The journey is filled with action-packed sequences that will leave you breathless, with intricate wire-fu stunts and gravity-defying fights. Each battle is a thrilling spectacle that showcases the skills of the ninja warriors. Along the way, our protagonist struggles with her inner demons, battling with doubt and fear as she confronts her father's killers. Despite its abundant use of wirework and magic tricks, the ninja aspect of the movie is often considered cheesy and ridiculous. However, there are some enjoyable moments scattered throughout the film. For instance, the training sequences are pretty impressive, showcasing the extreme flexibility of the female ninjas. Additionally, one of the female ninjas has a unique talent for seductively stripping and dancing, using a mirage of herself to capture the attention of her enemies. It's not hard to see why no man can resist her charms. While all the female ninjas are skilled in their own right, one of the most impressive fighters is a Taekwondo expert who serves as a henchwoman. She fights against the lady ninja, and the battle soon becomes a watery wrestling match. Although there's nothing inherently wrong with such a fight sequence, one can't help but wonder if it was done this way to even the playing field. The lead actress couldn't keep up with the Taekwondo expert in a straight fight. Furthermore, some of the fight scenes on the ground are pretty thrilling, and the plot twists toward the movie's end are a must-see, despite rendering the rest of the film obsolete. Mirai Ninja, 1988. The story takes place during a brutal conflict between humankind and cyborgs. Amid the chaos, a rogue elite cyber ninja from the enemy faction decides to break ranks and offer aid to the royal family. The reason behind this sudden change of heart? The kingdom princess has been captured, and her captors plan to use her as a sacrificial offering to summon the Cyborg Legion's digital ruler from another world. To help save the princess, the resistance army dispatches a small but determined squad of soldiers led by a young man who seeks vengeance for his brother's death at the robot's hands. The group battles toward the enemy's stronghold, sustaining heavy casualties. However, as they get closer to their objective, a shocking revelation awaits them. The cyber ninja Shiranui, who has been aiding them all along, is actually the soldier's long-lost brother, transformed into a cyborg and now determined to reclaim his human form. With time running out, the surviving members of the squad must storm the enemy stronghold and rescue the princess before the resistance army unleashes a devastating super cannon to prevent the summoning of the electronic evil. With an intro battle that's genuinely worth watching, this far-future samurai flick is ambitious in scope, boasting an array of stunning effects and wacky Sentai villains that'll surely leave you enthralled. While the convoluted and somewhat confusing plot may not be the film's strongest suit, it makes sense in the end. However, what indeed draws viewers in is the action-packed sequences, the intricate world design, and the surprisingly likable cast of characters. Although some have likened this film to Star Wars, it's a unique revenge story about a robotic ninja battling against monsters reminiscent of Ultraman. One thing is for sure, you won't find anything quite like it elsewhere. Ninja in the Dragon's Den, 1982. In feudal Japan, during the reign of Tokugawa Ieyasu, there lived a young ninja named Genbu. He had a wicked streak and took pleasure in killing samurai and other government officials without a second thought. However, his actions eventually caused his clan to bear the brunt of the blame. As a result, they pursued Genbu relentlessly. Fearing for his life and his wife, Akane, the couple fled to China. Genbu had another motive for his escape: track down and exact revenge on the last man he believed was responsible for his father's death, Fukuza. In China, Fukuza reinvented himself as a mirror maker called Uncle Fu. He led a quiet life, teaching his craft to his young apprentice, son Jing. Jing was an overconfident martial artist who constantly sought to prove himself by picking fights with others. He sprang to his defense. However, he soon discovered that he was evenly matched with the attacker, none other than the vengeful Genbu. This film not only stands out as one of the most remarkable ninja movies ever created, but it also introduced us to the dazzling elements of Conan Lee, who made an explosive screen debut. Given his awe-inspiring performance, it's hard to believe that Lee had no prior martial arts experience before filming this movie. Hiroyuki Sanada plays the title character of the ninja, who demonstrates to audiences worldwide why he's considered one of the greatest martial artists to grace the screen. Sanada showcases some of the most graceful and captivating moves ever witnessed in a martial arts movie. As a bonus for fans of old-school kung fu, the great Huang Jiangli appears in the movie's climactic scene as the main villain, Corey Yuan, who directs the film and choreographs the fight scenes, delivers some of the most mind-blowing combat scenes that are absolutely jaw-dropping and undoubtedly rank among the best ever seen in the martial arts genre. This was convincing enough for anyone to watch it as soon as possible. Samurai Spy, 1965. After years of brutal battles, Japan was finally brought under the Tokugawa shogunate's unifying rule. The once esteemed samurai spy, Suzuki Sarutobi, has grown tired of the endless strife and craves a life of peace. However, his wishes are quickly shattered when Tatawaki Koriyama, an important spy, decides to commit treachery to his current clan. The ensuing chaos shakes the ninja world to its very core. Unbeknownst to Suzuki, he gets entangled in the raging conflict and sets out to track Tatawaki. As he pursues his quarry, a mysterious white-hooded figure emerges, who seems to be stalking them both. In the end, nothing is as it seems, and shocking revelations reveal that the truth is far more personal and devastating than anyone could have imagined. With a focus on the physical representation of intrigue rather than attention-grabbing swordplay, the fighting in this film is highly stylized. Kurosawa revolutionized the choreography of swordplay by introducing natural stumbling and slipping. Still, Shinoda aimed to take things even further by going against the weight. One of the film's standout villains is Takatani, whose menacing voice and full-body white attire, including a hood over his head, make him an unforgettable character. The protagonist, Suzuki, struggles with the weight of war and engages in philosophical discussions about the nature of warfare and espionage throughout the film. Adding to the film's cool factor is the jazzy flute music, perfectly captures the vibe of the 60s. American Ninja, 1985. As he escorts a supply convoy in the Philippines, 18-year-old U.S. Army Private Joe Armstrong finds himself in a perilous situation when the group is suddenly ambushed by a band of rebels. Among them is a black ninja warrior whom Joe recognizes. With swift reflexes and mastery of ninjutsu, Joe instinctively defends himself, a skill that raises suspicion from his fellow soldiers and commanding officer. Left to fight against corruption alone, Joe uncovers a mysterious secret from his past that forces him into an epic martial arts showdown against the notorious Black Star Ninja. Indulging in a guilty pleasure like American Ninja is not uncommon, especially for fans of 80s karate movies. The film features some remarkable fight scenes and commendable B-movie acting. The suave and charismatic duo of Mike Dudikoff and Steve James adds a touch of coolness to the movie, delivering impressive moves and taking on their foes with style. It's a must-watch if you're a genre fan, with its pulsating action and thrilling fight sequences. It is a different matter. It's such a bad movie that it starts to look hilariously good. So, if you're in the mood for an entertaining martial arts flick, give American Ninja a shot. Shinobi, Heart Under Blade, 2005. With superhuman abilities, action, romance, and of course some killer ninja moves, Shinobi, Heart Under Blade has it all. The Manjidani Koga and Tsubaga Kori Iga clans have been fighting for over 400 years, but Lord Hattori Hanzo brings an end to it. The two clans, possessing superhuman abilities, retreat into the woods but continue training in the shadow technique of the shinobi. In the 1614s, the Lord begins to fear a brewing war, and his advisor devises a plan the Machiavellian style. 5 of each clan's top warriors would fight each other and decide their fate. Among these are Iga Oboro, granddaughter of the Iga clan's leader Ogun, and Koga Genosuke, the Koga clan leader's Jano's son. The two fall in love while the respective clan leaders engage in a battle and die. Now the onus of fighting for their clan's pride falls on the shoulders of Oboro and Genosuke. The tragic story blends the agility of ninja techniques with superpowers, adding to the movie's fantastic action sequences. The CGI used merges seamlessly in the fight scenes, keeping the audience hooked on till the heartbreaking end of the two lovers. Shinobi, Heart Under Blade is a must-watch movie for all ninja art lovers. American Ninja 2, The Confrontation, 1987. Donning the ninja armor with swords at the ready, every frame of American Ninja 2, The Confrontation exhibits killer martial art moves. Michael Dudikoff and Steve James return to the screen as Joe Armstrong and Curtis Jackson in this sequel. Together they probe the mysterious disappearances of Marines from a Caribbean paradise military base. Their investigation leads them to find out that the missing Marines were kidnapped by Leo, the lion, to be experimented on and mutated into super ninjas with extraordinary fighting abilities. Joe and Curtis have to now fight this army of ninjas and put an an end to the evil plans of the Lion to sell these genetically muted armies. Dudikoff, being trained in martial arts, brings swag to the action scenes. Whether the beach fight or the introduction of the mutant army to the buyers, or Tojo Ken's and Dudikoff's face-off, the sequences are very well choreographed with elements of wow to them. Yes, the movie does have its goofy moments with fight sequences that leave no bloodshed in its wake, and bloopers, but if you sideline those, it definitely makes the cut as the top 40 ninja movies of all time. Ninja Fantasy, 1987. Well, if it's innovative ninja moves you're looking for, then Ninja Fantasy is your movie. Directed by Godfrey Ho, this budget movie doesn't have a clearly defined storyline or great scenes, but the fight sequences are worth the watch. The film is about an American ninja cop trying to bust a ninja drug lord's lair with an army of ninjas, of course. Ho has taken low-budget Thai and Chinese films to use dubbed scenes from them, while shooting minimum and converging the two to create Ninja Fantasy. Yet this cut-and-paste movie is an entertainer. What stands out in this film, however, are the colourfully dressed ninjas and the offbeat fight sequences. For example, the fish transformation sequence, or the exploding fish sequence, shows ninjas dressed in black and orange transforming into fish and back to attack the protagonist and his lady love on a deserted island. In the final fight sequence, the protagonist fights an orange ninja equipped with hoops. These bizarre action scenes make this film a rare ninja movie. Ho's signature was the blue and orange ninja costumes, which inspired movies like the Mortal Kombat and TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ninja Terminator, 1985. Ninja Terminator is another Godfrey Ho creation, this time with a military camouflage ninja suit. A three-piece statue of the Golden Ninja Warrior with magical powers gets stolen by three rogue ninjas trying to elude the Supreme Ninja from gaining its powers. 2 years later, one of the rogues, Tamashi, gets killed by the antagonist, Yamato's soldier, and a part of the statue is retrieved by Yamato. Now in pursuit of the remaining two pieces, Yamato uses many tricks to bid the remaining two rogues, Harry and Baron, against each other. He even threatens them using mini-robots delivering menacing messages. In the final fight, Yamato kills Baron, but Harry beats Yamato and unites the three pieces, acquiring the power of the Golden Ninja Warrior. Meanwhile, Yamato self-destructs without any clear reasoning. Ninja Terminator follows the same editing style Godfrey engages by cutting and pasting scenes from less popular Asian films. He stitches peculiar sequences, which gives an eccentric feel to the movie with several exciting fight scenes. Many critics have regarded the action sequences as some of Ho's best work, which is why we add it to our list of top 40 ninja movies of all time. 007, You Only Live Twice, 1967. When it comes to ninja combats, Sean Connery's epic James Bond movie You Only Live Twice needs a mention in our top 40 ninja movies of all time list. The USA and the Soviet Union are on the brink of war, blaming each other for their missing spacecraft. But the UK believes there's a third player in the field who's responsible for these mysterious disappearances, and he is in Japan. Enter 007. James Bond collaborates with the Japanese Secret Service to uncover the evil behind it all. In the film, James Bond works closely with an army of ninjas to overcome the lead antagonist, Blofeld. The film's storyline required James Bond resorting to makeup to look Japanese, which did seem to have a racial undertone and received criticism. Yet, this movie did well at the box office. Producers of the film wanted to maintain Japanese authenticity and hired Masaki Hatsumi, who was a practicing ninja master, to help with the ninja fight sequences. The team also hired actual ninjas to add credibility to the characters. Some of the British stuntmen also doubled up as ninja warriors for the climax of the movie, when the ninja army enters Spectre and helps James Bond overcome Blofeld's evil plans. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1989. The pizza-loving trained Ninja Turtles made their live-action movie debut with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in 1990. Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Leonardo hide in the sewers of New York City along with their master, a rat named Splinter. A series of crimes engulfs New York City, and reporter April O'Neil links them to the Ninja Foot Clan and its terrifying leader, the Shredder. The Shredder orders his men to kill April. The Turtles arrive in time to save her and take her back to their hideout. April learns about how the Turtles mutated due to an unknown chemical leak and trained in ninjutsu. Soon, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles must take on the Foot Clan and Shredder to save their city. Ninja is the underlying factor throughout the movie, drawing from its teachings and actions. The filmmakers have added slapstick comedy between fight scenes, with the Turtles having friendly banter as they confront the enemy. From swords to nunchakus, each Turtle gets a defined action scene where they bring forth their ninja prowess. The action sequences were well choreographed, especially the climactic rooftop fight between the Shredder and Splinter, which received much appreciation from fans. Shaolin challenges Ninja, 1978. China meets Japan in this unconventional masterpiece which shows an array of martial arts using multiple weaponry and some brilliant action. Shaolin challenges Ninja is a story of Ho Tao from China, whose father forces him into an arranged marriage with Yumiko Koda from Japan. Ho is trained in Shaolin Kung Fu and disagrees with Yumiko's martial arts. He unwittingly offends her, causing her to go back to Japan. In a ruse to win her back, he challenges her to prove the power of Japanese martial arts. Unfortunately for Ho, Yumiko's sensei, Takano, reads the letter and takes on the challenge along with other masters. Thus begins an action-packed film that dabbles into the various martial art forms prevalent in China and Japan. The film bids samurai swords with straight words, karate with drunken fists, nunchakus with 3 sectional staff, and other such Japanese and Chinese forms against each other. Ho single-handedly fights each of the Japanese masters to prove his mettle in well-designed action sequences. Ho's final fight with Takano brings forth both characters' control, agility, and flexibility to the screen. Whether China wins over Japan or the other way around is something we leave you to decide. Lone Wolf and Cub, Sword of Vengeance, 1972. The legendary samurai movie based on the manga Lone Wolf and Cub showcases a duty-bound executioner for the shogun, Ogami Ito, and his 3-year-old son, Daigoro. Retsudo Yagyu, who trains the ninja assassins for the shoguns, frames Ito for disloyalty, disbarring him from the clan. When Ito's wife is murdered, he swears vengeance against his adversary. Now a ronin, Ito takes on the role of a hired assassin and wanders the land with his 3-year-old son in a specially designed carriage. The baby cart is bulletproof and loaded with weapons which Ito uses time and again to fend themselves from unforeseen attacks. With his infant in one arm and samurai sword in the other, Ito strikes down his most trained opponents with swift waves. The action sequences are shot in multiple locations, ranging from waterfalls to snow-clad land to the sand dunes, depicting Ito's journey as he tries to add distance between his adversaries and himself. The movie is the origin story of a 6-part series and contains several exaggerated action scenes resembling the manga. Yet the originality of the action sequences doesn't go unnoticed. Ito's movements with the sword are excellently choreographed, though every scene is overloaded with bloodshed. But hey, that's what you get in a ninja action adventure. Miami Connection, 1987. Miami Connection combines the best of 2 worlds for any action film lover, a ninja rock band versus a ninja biker squad. The ninja bikers are a drug cartel that's slowly spreading its operations in Florida. Dragon Sound, the rock band with martial arts expertise, decides to end the biker gang's reign. Thus begins an epic battle between the 2 squads. The film was made by Taekwondo master Y.K. Kim, who plays the lead protagonist in the movie. Together with his band members, Kim takes down the drug cartel with high ninja kicks, punches, and of course, samurai swords. The movie follows the exaggerated bloodshed approach of several 80s action films and dramatizes the sequences to the actor's best abilities. The film is worth a watch for Y.K. Kim's expert movements in the fight sequences. Fun fact, the shooting of one of the fight scenes seemed so natural that cops stopped the fight. Even with such realistic shots, the film bombed at the box office when it was initially released. However, it became a cult movie after almost 25 years of making, with fans loving the spirit of the film and the camaraderie exhibited throughout it. War, 2007. A movie with Jet Li and Jason Statham is sure to be action-packed and a treat for the eyes. The 2007 movie War revolves around FBI agent John Crawford, played by Statham, trying to find his partner's murderer. Crawford blames an unknown assassin named Rogue, played by Jet Li, for the murder. But Rogue is on a vengeful mission of his own with prevalent Asian mobsters in the city. Eventually, Crawford meets Rogue and an ugly truth is unveiled, adding an unexpected twist to the tale. The film may not have a great storyline, but it gives the audience what they expect. Fantastic action scenes. If you're a Jet Li or Jason Statham fan, you'll enjoy every moment of the film. The action sequences are brilliantly directed and to the point, without any unnecessarily extended versions that you get to see in films these days. Besides, both Li and Statham are at the peak of fitness and display impeccable moves and swiftness necessary to create an impactful scene. The scenes with Li's martial arts maneuvers kept us on the edge of our seats. On the other hand, Statham proves he's at the top of his game, especially in his fight scene with the Chinese triads. Rage of Ninja, 1988. Rage of Ninja is another Godfrey Ho classic following the same patch-up style from low-grade Asian films. This film is centered around a mystical manual that transforms its possessor into the ultimate ninja. The lead antagonist, played by Mike Abbott, is in search of this manual from the first scene, fighting and killing everyone in his path. The protagonist, played by Marco Ricci, has the manual, and Abbott keeps sending his goons to retrieve it one way or the other. In the end, Ricci and Abbott have a face-off where Ricci defeats Abbott by throwing an explosive at him and shredding him into pieces. The film film is as eccentric as any of Ho's other creativities, with a sometimes incomprehensible flow, but the movie does have some great action scenes. Ho is known for using colourful ninja costumes, and this time he's resorted to using pink and yellow. The ninjas thus dressed combat each other, complete with kicks, backflips, sword fights, and even gunfights. Rage of Ninja is an absolute entertainer with its peculiar story and edits from 3 different movies. The fights are fun to watch, making it one of the top 40 ninja movies of all time. Super Ninja, 1984. The Super Ninja tells a story about a cop named John who's wrongly framed by the antagonist to get to his girlfriend's father. Sounds complicated? Well, it's not. John is an Asian-American NYPD cop trained in martial arts. His girlfriend Nancy is the daughter of a scientist who's inventing a secret formula that the villain is after. John is found in possession of illegal drugs, but it's a conspiracy against him by the 5 element ninjas to keep him out of the picture. John is tortured in custody, but using his ninja techniques, he manages to escape. Meanwhile, the 5 elements get their hands on the secret formula and kill the scientist. John's mentor warns him about the unbeatable abilities of the 5 element ninjas. Now it's up to John and his NYPD partner Spencer to stop the antagonists from using the formula for their evil doing. This action-packed film has brilliant ninja techniques throughout. The introduction of the 5 elements displaying each one's abilities is very well choreographed, as is John's first combat with them, from bamboo surfing to flinging balls of fire to burrowing in the sand dunes. This film explores it all. It also comes with a few twists, but they're quickly sidelined due to the movie's action-based entertainment factor. Kamui Gaiden, 2009. Kamui Gaiden is an adaptation of Sanpei Shirato's manga comics. Kamui is a trained ninja who keeps reinventing his combat moves. His one kick can leave a guy bent backwards without ever falling to the ground. A fisherman takes him in and gives him a ray of hope to follow a path of honor. But once a ninja, always a ninja. No matter how hard Kamui tries, he simply can't find the piece he's looking for. His adversaries find up and plot against him. Soon, he's engulfed in violence once again. Kamui is left with no choice but to face them and put his practiced ninja art to the test. The film has a strong storyline capturing the seriousness of the comics with adequate drama, emotions, and of course, expertly crafted action scenes. The movie contains several CGI-enhanced action sequences which are not entirely up to the mark. Yet, some of the choreographed fights are well defined and add to the movie's ninja aspect. Throughout the film, Kamui is faced with opponents where he shows his swift and sharp moves. Irish-American Ninja, 2005. And to end on a lighter note, we have the Irish-American Ninja. This 2005 action comedy is filled to the brim with scenes that will make you roll on the floor laughing. The movie revolves around an Irish-American named George McGoogle, who's obsessed with being a ninja. So, he travels to Japan to become one. He soon comes face to face with his evil brother, whom he had lost touch with, and the truth about their father's death is unveiled. A disheartened George decides to head back to the USA. However, the movie takes a new turn upon his return, as documentary filmmakers are eager to record his story. This quirky movie is hilarious to its core, with silly ninja action. Nonetheless, the fight sequences seem well thought out and genuine. If you're looking to lighten your mood with a funny flick, we think the Irish-American Ninja will not disappoint you. Hope you enjoyed our list of popular and offbeat ninja movies. If you have yet to watch some of these, we recommend you do and share your reviews with us. We'd love to hear your take on these. Additionally, if you have any suggestions for us, please do share them in the comments below.